And thank you so much for being with us. For some time, people have been talking about, Democrats have been talking about the state of Texas going purple. And for that long, Republicans like myself have been very skeptical. But you winning in my friend Pete Sessions' district certainly sends a very strong message, I think, to both parties. And I just wonder, is health care the issue, not only in your district, but across the state of across the state of Texas, that actually helps Democrats do just that in 2020?
Well, thanks so much for having me on, Joe, and sorry about the audio problems there. Listen, I don't know what the political ramifications are, but I know this is the #1 issue in my district, and I think in districts similar to mine across the country. People are expecting us to work together to lower the cost of health care, see what we can do to expand coverage. And when the president is going out there trying to go around now the legislative system, as you said, with Senator McCain giving a thumbs down and not letting us repeal the ACA through the Congress to try and use the courts, I think it just reopens this wound and says that he's not really on the side of the folks who are trying to take care of their families and get the health care they need.
So you're new to Congress, new member representing your district. What are you hearing when you're going to town hall meetings? What are you hearing when you're back in the district, grocery shopping or going to Walmart? What are your voters telling you about health care? What do they want?
Yeah. Well, I think they're tired of us tearing it down and trying to not work together, not try to find ways to get things done. I think what they really want us to do is sit down and actually figure out how can we lower costs, how can we expand coverage. I had a group of folks visiting with me last week who have diabetes, type 1 diabetes. We're talking about the cost of insulin. It's not a partisan issue. It's something that we need to be working on together instead of the sabotage that's been going on. Find ways to actually see what we can do to deliver for the folks who we're supposed to be representing.
Congressman, especially on health care, the president's been the gift that keeps on giving. He steps on his excellent week after the Mueller news. He comes out and says, I'm going to celebrate by going directly after health care. But you've also raised the point that Democrats need to remain focused, something we've been talking about here this morning, that you've written that Democrats shouldn't allow themselves to be divided, that they shouldn't allow the president to put a wedge between them. What's your approach? What would be your advice within the Democratic Party for maintaining that kind of focus and for keeping an eye on the ball as you go into 2020 as a party?
Well, I think the lesson of 2018 in many of our races, and I include the primaries across the country, is that we need to stay focused on these issues and focused on delivering real results, not just putting our goals out there, which is important. You need to talk about where you want to go, where you want to end up, but you also have to deliver actual results. And how can we do that? What can we do in the short term to make people's lives better? And I think it begins with prescription drugs. The president has said that he wants to do it. Chuck Grassley in the Senate has said he wants to do it. I think we can make some progress there. I think we can obviously end some of the that's been going on that has been increasing premiums and raising costs. And then what's our next step from there? I think it is that we need to increase competition, lower costs through competition, and that's how we work our way towards all of our goals.
Congressman, I'm glad you raised prescription drugs. That was exactly what I wanted to ask you about, because my question is, you're right, the president wants to do something. We've seen Republicans in the Senate kind of give some indications they're willing to work on it. Do you think that House Democratic leaders would be willing to go along with a plan to lower those prices, even if it means giving President Trump something of a win?
I do. I really do. And I think that this is something that we're focused on. This is something that we all campaigned on, that we talked about as we were seeking these offices. I don't see this as a win for the president or for anyone else. I see it as a win for the American people. And I certainly will be using my voice to make sure that whatever we do, we don't let the politics creep into this, because it's important that we take steps now and we show that we can actually govern.
Congressman Colin Allred, thank you.